Sci-Fi Skirmish Scenarios by John Lambshead. We are playing the adventures of the Blackraven using a fun little rule set called Necromunda. But this ain't your daddy's Necromunda. Wait a minute. No, actually, this probably is your father's Necromunda, isn't it? Instead of playing Necromunda as written, we are using it as a toolkit to create our own narrative science fiction skirmish campaign, and today's fight is going to be one of the many scenarios given to us by John Lambshead. Which one? I don't know. I'm going to ask my good friends, Mr. D6 and D6. As you can see, I still have the terrain set up from the last scenario. The setting that John Lambshead provides in his book is the Sprawl. It's a big city set in like a lava crevasse where there's all kinds of minerals and like there's ash wastes outside and gangs, and there's some fun cyberpunk stuff going on. Really great kitchen sink setting. The way this works, check this out. This book is by, I think I got it directly from Pen and Sword. You can get it on Amazon as well. The scenarios are listed as scenario 1.1 to 1.6, 2.1 to 2.6. There, let's see if we can get that focused in. Look at this. And then so drop your stuff, data drip, mana from heaven, shiny stone. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll 2d6. And this will determine which scenario we play. The blue die will be the first die we roll. And well, not that it matters. So we go to scenario 5-5, and we find that is assassination. Our crew has been hired to assassinate somebody. Oh my goodness, I told you we work the gray zones here. We gotta pay off the debt here, man. And sometimes that means taking jobs that are a little higher risk. A street gang is driven off when they try to raid a corporate asset in the green zone. Wait a minute! The Blackraven is a corporate asset. We're going up against the Scuttlers again. Man, it's really weird how well this stuff works out. The gang forts up in a safe house, an old fortified compound protected by impenetrable walls on three sides, while their leader recovers from his stupor. The corporates decide to make an example of the gang. Hey, you can't be attacking our shipping interests here, guys. And secures the services of a mercenary unit. Well, hello, crew of the Blackraven. Man, this is working out really well. To assassinate the gang's leader. The leader is placed within the partially enclosed compound, as shown on the map. Let's take a look at the map. It looks a little something like this. So our heroes, we got to set our red force is our heroes, and then we've got 3 solid walls, and our leader is in there, and our heroes have to get around there and take out the leader. That table looks like it has a slightly different character. It's an industrial zone. Here is the compound for the Scuttlers. These 2 walls and our little hab trailer are the block line of sight. They cannot be scaled for some reason. It's just the way the scenario is written. Our heroes have been dropped off by a cab here. They took a space Uber to hide behind this low-rent industrial block. And now they have to kill the leader of the Scuttlers. They are opposed by a guy with a shotgun. Let's call this the auto gun since he's got it up to his eye. Here, let's take a look at these Scuttlers here. They look like Orlocks. They come from, they say, who is it? Pico Armor, actually. If you go to picoarmor.com, these guys are darn near spitting images for the Orlock gangers. So we got one guy with a couple of pistols. We've got one guy with a shotgun, the guy holding the shotgun down low. And then our leader is holding an auto gun, and we have another melee fighter over here. So we're holed up. We know the Scuttlers know that the crew of the Blackraven has arrived via space Uber behind this hab block, and we need to figure out who is going to go first. The game will last until the crew of the Blackraven is driven off, and the blue die is for the initiative for the Blackraven, or the leader is killed. The red guys get to go first, and they're going to go on Overwatch. Overwatch means that you can fire during your opponent's turn at a -1 if they are appearing from around a corner, which is exactly what they'll do. In this case, we are going to move. What you do is everybody in your gang moves. Cobalt is going to come up here and take cover behind this motorcycle. Monk E is going to move 6 inches and take cover behind this lamppost here. But wait, when he gets to right here, he is going to suffer a shot from this guy who's on Overwatch, the guy with the shotgun. And here's the problem with that. The shotgun will actually be able to affect both of these figures. Now, he will be hitting at -1. His ballistic skill is a 3. He is firing at beyond 4 inches. He will be at -1 for the range. He is also at -1 for cover and -1 because he has just appeared. But because this is a scatter shot, it ignores cover, so he's really going to be at a total of -2 to hit Cobalt. Normally he would need a 4, he needs a 6, and he misses. He's also going to need a 6 to hit Monk E, because Monk E has just appeared. And with a result of a 2, he misses. Monk E will take cover behind this post, and then, now bear in mind, we're just doing movement 4 now. We're going to pull Lieutenant Dane over to the corner. He's going to peek, and he's going to take a shot from this guy who is firing with pistols. And again, he needs a 6 to hit, but you might as well. That's a miss. Now Lieutenant Dane, now he moved, so he only gets to take 1 shot. But he's got an auto pistol, and he's at +1, -1 for the cover. So we are at a total score of even Stevens. And Cobalt has a ballistic skill, or Lieutenant Dane, rather, has a ballistic skill of 3. So he needs a 4 or better to hit. With a 6, he hits. Now we got to do something interesting. We haven't seen this yet. This is called an ammo check. And an ammo check is the reflection in the old Necromunda rules of the fact that ammunition is limited. We're in the sprawl. We're kind of on the edge of the law. This is not a free country, so there's all kinds of restrictions on the defensive weapons that you can carry and on the ammo that you can purchase. What that means is Dane now has to make an ammo check, or else his autogun is completely out of ammunition. And this will be successful on I think it's a 4-up, is it? He's got an autogun. Well, let's make the check. On a 2, he may be out. Let me, I got to find my cheat sheet. I've got a fairly extensive cheat sheet right here. And if we take a look at that, our autogun has an ammo roll of 4-up. So he is now out of ammunition. But he did hit this fella with a strength 3 hit. Strength 3, toughness 3. He's going to wound him on a 4 or better. And on a 5, this guy becomes pinned. Well, he's hit. We don't know. Oh, he's... All right. When you hit, the guy goes to ground. He's pinned. With the 5, you flip the guy over. He is now wounded. We don't know what his status is until the end of his next turn. That frees the Magic Space Baby up to hunker down behind this building and drop a hallucination on this guy right here. We make a leadership check, hoping that we do not get a Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes would be bad. And with a 6 or lower, we are successful. So this guy now has to make a hallucination check. This won the game for us last time. And on a 3, it's the Royal Freakout. He blasts off in a random direction. The diamond will tell us what direction he goes. And with a 6, he's going to launch in that direction. We'll see if he hits anything, and on a 5, he does not. Now, there's nobody in that direction, but I wanted to check, because if we rolled a 6, that would require him to make an ammo check. So even though he didn't really do anything, I think that maybe should be his action for the next turn. I think he's hallucinating, and that's his action for the next turn, which, let's do this. Let's reset the clock. Let's do that. We're going to end the turn here. This guy on his next turn is suffering from hallucinations, which puts our heroes into a little bit of a conundrum. Let's back up so we can see Monk E. Well, first of all, we have to check for initiative on... Do we check for initiative every turn? I don't think so. I think it's their turn. So, well, actually, that would be it, right? That's his turn. He blasted off. He's done. Now we check to see if this guy recovers. And to do this, remember he's down. We're going to roll a d6. And on a 1, he'll stand up, but he'll be at -1 to his fight and his shoot. On a 6, he's completely out of the game. On a 2 to 5, he just lays there and bleeds this turn. There you go. So his recovery check is a 5. All right, I got to check myself before I wreck myself. I am forgetting that everybody moves. That means if this guy wants to come out of his little hidey hole, I was leaving him back there, he can move a total of 8 inches. He can move 4 inches to there and then 4 inches to there. Our little pistol guy is going to stop cowering, and he's going to come out and he's going to fight as well. So it should be move, and then everybody shoots, including this guy. He can take a shot at, well, he doesn't want to shoot past his friend there. That's the best he can do for now. Then we do our firing, which is him, and then we do recovery, which is him. So the Scuttlers have now done everything they're going to do for this turn. Let's turn our attention back to the crew of the Blackraven. As before, we have to move first. Dane can move a total of 8 inches. He's going to use his full turn to move up and take cover behind this post. With a range of 24 inches, we're just going to leave Magic Space Baby back here where it's safe. We'll bring Cobalt up to here. Now, this uses both of his actions, but he's going to take cover behind this lamppost. And then Monkey says, you know what? I can charge a total of 12 inches, and he's got the leap ability, which allows him to leap over obstacles. He's going to dive right into hand-to-hand combat with this gang member right here. We're rolling 2 dice for Monk E on the melee. He is at a +1 because he charged. He is at +1 because his weapon skill is 1 higher than the ganger. And he gets 2 dice because he is classed as fighting with 2 melee weapons. This is a fumble. It reduces the score of this die to 2. So we'll turn that to 2. However, our enemy has also fumbled, meaning that our differential is 2 for the dice. 1 for the charge, 1 for the difference in weapon skills. That's a total of 4 wounding hits. Blah, blah, blam. Doing wounds on a 5 or better, all we need is 1, and this guy goes to meet his eternal reward, and we can move a total of 2 inches, which will put us, we're going to have to move into cover right here. No, let's move 2 inches to this cover right there. We don't have enough movement to reach this last melee guy. Then we have one final action. Now we do, I did that wrong because we should do shooting, but the only guy that had shooting was the Magic Space Baby. Magic Space Baby is going to, what other spells does Magic Space Baby have? He has Heal and Displace. He can teleport anybody 3d6 inches, holy cats, including into melee. Well, if that's the case, let's try to teleport Cobalt into melee with the leader. Boy, this is kind of a cheater. We're going to have to go up against a much tougher force in our next fight. Total of 9 inches. And how far does our leader get to teleport? That's 6 inches to that barrel right there. And then it's another 3 inches. So Cobalt is able to, during the shooting phase... Hey, that's a slightly better view. Man, that's kind of a cheater power. Oh, you know what? Maybe we didn't get that power off. We need to make a leadership check for Magic Space Baby. And with a result of a 4, we are successful, so he does get that spell off. And now we do our fight. Cobalt, remember, is fighting with dual pistols. He gets 2 attacks. The leader is only fighting with an autogun. Let me just move this piece of terrain out of the way so we don't bonk it. He only gets to roll 1 dice. They both have a weapon skill or a melee skill of 4, so it's going to be evens. The only difference here is that it's 2 dice to the blue. We get a result of a 6, which counts as a 7. I think it counts as a 7. It might be additional 6s count. You know, I think that's right. Let me check the rules real quick. Yeah, I was doing that wrong. It's for each additional 6. There are times where you can roll 3 or maybe even 4 melee dice, and for every additional 6 you add 1. So this is really just a differential of 4, which, I mean, you know, do we really need all those extra hits? And again, we're hitting with auto pistols. Strength 3, toughness 3 means wounding on a 4 up, and any result of a 6 is going to put the leader out, and that is the end of the scenario. Kind of a quick one, but kind of because I think that our crew of the Blackraven with all of their power-ups is slightly OP. So for the next fight, we are going to have to come up with a much tougher gang to go up against them, maybe throw in a couple of extra fighters to balance things out. But I do like the fact that we have this fun little random scenario generator that gives us something a little more interesting than simply, you know, lining them up and shoot. The original Necromunda game comes with 7 scenarios that are very, you know, they're some of them are kind of your standard, you know, there's objective markers. You got to run up, grab one, and get off the table. You have to blow up a piece of terrain that is controlled by one of the other, your opponents. Maybe just line them up and shoot. Maybe you got to get across the table. You know, they're interesting, but I really wanted to. I mean, hey, look, I spent $25 on this book by John Lambshead. I'm darn well going to use it. So with that said, why don't we go ahead and roll? The blue die will be the tens place, let's say. We're going to roll a D66, and let's find out right now what our next scenario is. And I can take a little more time to set up terrain and an opposition force and all of that. So 66, oh boy, that's got to be fun, doesn't it? Scenario 6-6, Tag Comp. Among the street gangs of the Sprawl, there's no greater insult than to spray one's tag on the inside of a rival gang's hangout. There's a little bit of like specific, oh, the Bone Block Gang, blah, 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 blah. All right, hey, so it's all about gang rivalry and street status. It's an advertising mission. You know, Madison Avenue has explained to Cobalt 15 that if the Blackraven really wants to be successful in this space dog world, he has to advertise. And he's going to advertise in a rival gang's hangout. So we're going to add a couple of more boys to our Scuttlers. And this is what the scenario looks like. You set up here. This will be, the hangout will be, of course, the Blackraven. We'll set up a hangout over here for the Scuttlers, and then the boys in blue are going to have to sneak around and get inside the hangout for the Scuttlers while the Scuttlers are trying to do the same, and you have kind of a capture the flag, although you're not capturing it, you're just kind of tag the flag. So look for that in the next episode of The Adventures of the Blackraven, featuring everybody's favorite renegade warbot gun, Peacenik, although not really, because he decided to engage in a lifetime of, not quite crime, but bending the rules, and that means, just about as much shooting as your military. Although military is kind of a business. There's Lieutenant Dane, and then of course he is going to be backed up by everyone's favorite, big-eyed, purple-hued hero, Magic Space Baby, who's been kind of the VIP. These are the guys, I'm a little impressed. These are the guys who've been the VIP so far. Monk E and Magic Space Baby, they are a powerful combination. A boy and his space robo-monkey. Winning combination. Let's see if they can keep the streak alive next time. Till then, I'm praying for you.